What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I hope everybody had a really good Valentine's Day. I hope you and your loved ones had fun, whatever y'all did. Lots of chocolates, hugging up on teddy bears, whatever. Maybe a lot of people didn't watch the games last night. You probably had some Valentine's Day. You probably had reservations in some nice restaurant or something. Good for y'all. Good for y'all. Good for y'all. Good. Good for y'all. Some decent games on last night. But this is not really about the games. It's more about storylines. Storylines. You know what I mean? The storylines right now is how are these new teams looking as of now? Phoenix Suns played last night. They got a win against the Kings. Cool. No Kevin Durant. He didn't play with them yet. He was there. He got a standing ovation, but he didn't play with them yet. But you know what's so funny about the Phoenix Suns? They tend to be winning games, even though Kevin Durant didn't play. It's almost like that kind of like rejuvenate them in a way, like that put like a little boat in their chest that they believe so much that they are title contenders, even though Kevin Durant didn't play yet. Because this is another win by the Phoenix Suns, another win. Another big game by Devin Booker with 32 points. The type of game I've been saying. This is exactly Chris Paul played the type of game I said I want him to play. 17 points, 19 assists. That's exactly what I want Chris Paul to do. DeAndre Ayton, 29 points, 11 rebounds. That's exactly what I want him to do for the Phoenix Suns. And this is without Kevin Durant. This don't look like a team that dropped low as like the play-in rankings. This looks like a team that remain top 4 Western Conference team. Yeah, they dropped all the way down to the bottom half of the rankings. They made this trade with Kevin Durant, and now they winning games without Kevin Durant. I'm telling you, they're excited. They really believe that they're going to the NBA championships, and I'm believing it too. The fact that they got Kevin Durant and didn't give up any of their core players is amazing, and that's definitely a championship team for me right now. That definitely is. But let's be fair. It was against the Kings, right? Yes, I know the Kings is top 3 team in the East. I mean, in the West. I'm gonna say the same thing about the Kings. I said the same thing about the Pelicans. Reality is going to strike sooner or later. I said the same thing about the Pelicans. The Pelicans was number 1 team in the West at one point, number 3 team at at another point. I'm like, man, this ain't gonna last, man. Fool's gold right now. It's not gonna last. Now look, they drop all the way down to like 9th or 8th or something like that. Same thing with the Kings. Like, yeah, people act like these teams this season are so great. Like the Kings, they number 3 in the West right now. Yeah, but they got 25 losses. Like they got 25 losses. The Phoenix Suns got 27. It's like the Western Conference. Those rankings really don't mean nothing as of right now until April, because it could change at any moment. The number 4th team in the West could be the number 13 team in the West in a week. Have a nice little bad losing streak. You could drop all the way down to like 13. You know what I mean? Sure can. That's why we still talk about the Lakers the way we do. The middle of February, we still talk about the Lakers, even though they're so low in the rankings, because they can go like a 6-7 game winning streak and be top team in the West. Well, one of the top teams. Nobody's reaching Denver. Nobody's reaching Seattle. I mean, not Seattle. Seattle. Nobody's reaching Memphis. But it's like these teams who got high rankings, they got a lot of losses too. So it don't really mean as much as you think when you hear the Sacramento Kings is third or fourth or whatever in the West. Man, for how long? For how long? I just don't have I don't have a whole lot of faith in them. I think that De'Aaron Fox is a pretty good player, but when we're talking this type of caliber of like this part of the season, February, All Star Weekend, the final touches to get ready for the playoffs or try to make the playoffs. Come on, man. Maybe not yet. Not yet. Maybe 4 years from now, 5 years from now for De'Aaron Fox. Not yet. No, I'm sorry. I just have a lot of faith in this team. So to see Phoenix got this nice win against them without Kevin Durant, I'm going to say, it was against the Kings. It was against the Kings. It's whatever. The big one was the Bucks, cause yesterday's episode I said the championship for the West, for the East, will come down to Boston or Milwaukee, and I'm kind of leaning towards Boston, but I'm looking at Milwaukee like, oh man, I can see it. I can see Giannis in the NBA Finals. I can see it. I can see it. I sure can, and I'm just like, oh man, can they do it? And then they go up against the Celtics and get a big win in overtime. 11 wins in a row for the Bucks. 11 wins in a row, but they still second to the East. That's second in the East to the Celtics. That shows you how many wins the Celtics got all through the season. That the Bucks could win 11 games in a row and still be second. Man, can you imagine if a Western Conference team win 11 games in a row? Can you imagine if the Lakers win 11 games in a row right now, or the Warriors win 11 games in a row right now? Man, they'll be third. Might even be second. It might even be second in the West if they win 11 games in a row. Milwaukee Bucks won 11 games in a row, and they still second in the East. That's hilarious. And one of those wins is against the number one team in the East, and they still second in the East. That's hilarious. But good game for the Bucks, man. Good game for the Bucks. Drew Holiday, 40-point game. 40-point game, 13 21 shooting. That's what I'm talking about, Drew Holiday. That's what I'm talking about, man. Giannis, 36 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists. What? Like that's like I look at this team and I'm thinking finals. Now I also look at Boston and I think finals too. Now we're gonna be fair. Everybody in Boston is hurt. Al Horford hurt. Tatum hurt. Jaylen Brown hurt. Even Danilo Gallinari, former New York Knicks Italian player, hurt. Everybody in Boston was hurt, and the game still went to overtime. Still went to overtime. That tells me this team could do something big this season. The Boston Celtics. You know what I mean? You got players like Blake Griffin got big numbers last night, Tuesday night, 24 minutes. You got what's his name? Derek White with 43 minutes, 27 points in 43 minutes. They played big minutes and they showed up. Grant Williams, 48 minutes, 12 points, 10 rebounds in 48 minutes. They showed up. They showed up. Brogdon, the point guard, the new point guard that they got from I think it was Indiana. I believe it was Indiana. I believe it was Indiana. 26 points off the bench, 39 minutes off the bench. You know what I mean? Malcolm Brogdon is his name. Like they showed up without any without their star players, without any of their core players. Nobody. Starting power forward, gone. Starting center, gone. Starting guard, gone. So how the fact that they put up to 125 points is amazing. The fact that they pushed the Bucks to overtime is amazing. And the fact that the game was that close, 131 to 125 in overtime, when you got Drew Holiday getting 40 points, and you got Giannis Antetokounmpo getting 36 points and 13 rebounds, it's amazing. That still tells me Boston Celtics might be in the NBA championship again, and if they do make it to the championship again, they're going to win it. I truly believe the NBA champions is coming out the East this year. It's either going to be Boston or Milwaukee. But I'm looking at you, Boston, like, man, yeah, it can happen. It could happen. No doubt about it. It could happen. No doubt about it whatsoever. Whatsoever. Like that's right now. I'm looking at the matchups right now, and how these teams are matching up. I'm looking at like my mind is focused on right now on these teams that look like they are true teams. Boston looks like a true team. Milwaukee looks like a true team. Phoenix looks like a true team. Denver, they look like a true team. A team that can actually do something in the playoffs. I don't know about Memphis doing something big in the playoffs. Maybe come out the first round, but that's about it. You know, the Dallas, nah, not even come out the first round. You know what I mean? Not even coming. Luca needs to understand one thing. Let me jump on. Let me jump on Dallas a little bit. I know I talked about them on yesterday's episode, but let me jump on Dallas a little bit. When Kevin Durant got traded to the Phoenix Suns, there's a big understanding that this is no longer Devin Booker's team as the best player. This might be his team, like he's the face of the Phoenix Suns, and Kevin Durant is the new guy. But this is no longer your team as the best player, and you have to understand you are no longer the best player in the game, or on your team when you're playing the game. That's what Luka need to understand. The offense can't go through you, Luka. You need to set up the offense. Actually, I rather since you got 2 point guards, I rather Luka be the shooting guard and Kyrie be the point guard. But the offense needs to go around Kyrie. If it's the last shot, and you need a clutch basket, it needs to go to Kyrie. If you need somebody to set up plays, that needs to go to Kyrie. If you need somebody to be the more ball dominant player on the court, that needs to go to Kyrie. And I don't know if Luca fully understands that, or if he's willing to accept that. But as of right now, Luca, you're awesome. You was an MVP candidate for a little bit. You're the face of the Dallas Mavericks, but as of right now, you're no longer the best player on your team. That goes to Kyrie Irving. Without that championship on Kyrie's finger, that goes to Kyrie Irving. But he also got that championship on his finger, so you better defer to this man. Because not only is he better than the U.S. basketball player, he's also a champion. He's a champion. He knows what it takes. He played with LeBron. He played with KD. He played with champions. And he's a champion himself. So that's what Dallas needs. That's what Dallas needs to understand. The coaching staff need to understand that, and Luka needs to understand that. You gotta defer. You got Kyrie Irving in your team now if you want to win, or if you want to make a deep playoff run. Like